Hello everybody and welcome to another Articulate Outburst podcast. Due to untold grief, I've had my hair cut. Apparently in the last video it looked like I was Max Wall without his trousers on. I've got a list of emails in front of me that I'm going to go through. Thanks very much, we're at 51 subscribers. Great if we could get it to 60 by the end of the month, that'd be fantastic. And thanks to you lot for supporting us, thanks for growing the brand, thanks for sharing it, thanks for sharing the videos, and everything else. Anybody who's watching it for the first time, if you could ring the bell, like and subscribe, I'd be eternally grateful. So obviously we've done the offcuts, we've done one band interview, and I'd do the band interviews in series if I could, but ultimately due to other commitments, and anybody who's ever been in a band will know this. Sometimes it's like herding cats. They all want to go off in different directions. To try and get them all together is impossible. We practice once a week, but that's set for practice. And then we've got the odd prima donna that either don't want to be on the video or has just been awkward about their interview. So ultimately we will get to the band interviews in due course, sporadically throughout the day. I've had a lot of positive comments on having the educator on. Thanks very much for your feedback on that. Yeah, we will do, people are asking us to do quite a bit more in the structure and the building of the songs. Obviously, as you all know, he writes most of the riffs, I kind of write the lyrics. He does a little bit more lyric writing when it don't fit, and then eventually we cobble it together as a band. So a lot of you have been on to me about perhaps expanding that. He's camera shy a little bit, don't really want to engage in the Twitter sphere, YouTube sphere, so I will work on him. And also a lot of you have asked as well, could we go through our old recordings or at least show what the songs that turned out like they did? Well, oddly enough, I didn't think we could do this, but then I remembered back in the day that we recorded things just as an audio file, and I've got loads of these. Obviously I don't intend to torture you with them all, but what I do intend to do is maybe go through some so I can show the finished song, which is on the album, UNSAFE SPACES. If you've not bought it already or downloaded it, please do. It's available on Apple Music, YouTube Music, Deezer, whatever that is, and all other respectable platforms. We are there. All it requires is downloading to listen. I suggest you don't cherry pick a different songs. I think it stands up as a body of it's a whole work dedicated to the early part of the 21st century and the madness that engulfs us. But yeah, please do download that. So ultimately, we're going to start off with the finished article, and then just to give you a little taste, without going on too much, there's some really bad songs that we abandoned on here, by the way. Here We Are, that was the 1st of February 2019, so you can get some kind of idea of the time in between songs. And I've actually labelled anybody out there weird and class. It's only 1 minute, I'll play it now for our own amusement, but then we'll perhaps maybe do it in a bit more detail in one of the up and coming streams, but that's what you've asked for, so let's have a little taste and see if it works. It might come through there.
1, 2, 3.
We were using a drum machine at the time, as you can tell. I don't know whether I dare leave it playing long enough to hear any singing from me. Might be pretty bad that early on. No, I think we'll leave it there. That is a show all on its own. And there's some really bad songs there that we abandoned. Cowell and his clang obviously aimed at perhaps the one person in music that is universally both loved and hated in equal measure. if the tabloid press have got up to do with it, he's in the paper every week. And it was just an idea that the charts are fixed, no outsiders are allowed. Obviously, if you're good enough, anybody will buy your stuff, and there's nothing anyone else can do about it. But certain bands and certain acts get privilege over others. And you know, ultimately, from our point of view, I think the music's good, I think the sentiment's good, but we have an image problem. Yeah, we have an image problem, that's a fact. We make up for it in character, wit and humour, but we do have an image problem. We're not saleable in that respect. So let's go through these emails one at a time, and do I dye my hair and what's going on with my hair? Start at the beginning. During lockdown we couldn't go to the barbers, and then the minute that the barber shop opened, the missus went, get yourself to the barbers, we're not having any more of this, get yourself there. And I wasn't that bothered really, I got it all cut off and I went back to a kind of chiselled look that I've had for 10-15 years, slightly spiky, receding hairline, looking a bit thin on top. After a while I kind of missed having all that hair. I genuinely did. I'm not saying I was born again or going through a midlife crisis, but I was born again and going through a midlife crisis, because I always kept it short. I was surprised how much, first of all, how much there is of it, and second of all, what kind of condition it's in. And there's a few greys here, there and everywhere, but on balance it hasn't done bad. But thanks for emailing in. I had it cut today for today's stream for obvious reasons. It did look ridiculous on the last stream, as I say, Max Wall is an understatement, so I'll try to keep it trim and with the times from now on. Second of all, a few of you picked up on the fact that the missus came in, and obviously my awkwardness was apparent, and everybody liked that. I do refer to her locally as the Dragon, or her who must be obeyed, or other things. I've suggested she comes on a stream because she hates the band, she hates what to do with it all, to see if she can, she's resisting, but then again so the rest of the band, so I'll see if I can do something about that. So thank you, Steve, for emailing in, and everybody else on this subject. I will try. I guess it might be with some disguise on, but I'll ask if she can. Some of your other ones have pointed out that my t-shirt's inside out on some of the streams. And I kind of thought I'd got away with it, because you don't expect people to be watching in that much detail. You think it would just be on in background and people are giving it a cursory glance, but you didn't realise that there's a lot of people out there that absolutely study the form and study what we say, and heroes and critics in equal measure. The shirt on off scenario was I did 3 streams in here all at the same time. So I put my work shirt on that I'd been to work with that morning, then I came on, put a t-shirt on, and then I put the 3rd stream in and turned the t-shirt inside out. So it gave the impression that this was over a prolonged period of time. As if to say we'd kind of studied it, but effectively I'd crammed 3 in one go, which is not me really. But we were on the process at the time of the songs in the band, and it was quite easy to know what the subject matter was, and it wasn't that difficult to pull facts from thin air, because you know what the subject matter is, so it was a lot easier to just kind of power through that. Normally these streams take a long time to kind of decide what you're going to talk about, decide what you're going to embellish on, and obviously try to answer some of the criticisms from you lot, which is, as I say, I like good comments and I like bad. You keep me up at night sometimes, but you know, anybody who gets in touch will always get a reply. I always get a reply. So going back to my list, yes, there is a demand to see the other members of the band. It's not always, as I say, applicable, can't always get them when you want, but I will do this. There's also a bit of back chat and flack about up and coming gigs. You're right, we're pretty poor on this. We've got some cast iron gigs to come. I need to get the website up to date. I've just sent a text to our guy that runs our web to for me to get some instructions on how to use it. I think last time we did something was about a year ago. We need to update that. We're not very web techie kind of people. And again, with YouTube and Facebook and Twitter all being available, websites have become a little bit of a thing of the past, but we're going to build that this year. and tried to put a little bit more engagement in there, a little bit more narrative about how we've come about and stuff. So sometimes you think you can do too much media or too much exposure. You're on the bloody web, you're on iTunes, you're on Apple Music, you're on this, that and the other. But again, this is the world that we find ourselves in. It's not a record company, vinyl sales and a TV interview. It's alternative media, alternative methods of getting through to people, and obviously social media, I guess, is the big thing, and we're not that good at it. I come from a generation where Facebook is our... I think it's had its time, but from an old man, dad's perspective, it's dead easy to keep in touch with your friends, your family and your relatives. Everybody tells me I've got to get on Instagram, but we don't have enough time. I'm filling in 3 bloody spheres as it is. So other than that, just a quick catch up to say thanks for getting in touch, thanks for all your points. I think I've ticked everything off there. You want a little bit more on the songwriting process and a little bit more on how we structure it and what the riffs mean. I think I can put that together. It might be a bit complicated because getting 2 people in a room together to recreate things that they threw away and did is quite difficult, but I'm sure within all that there's an idea. Get the educator back on. I think it goes without saying. Thanks very much for that. It's nice as well for me to balance out the interviews with people and other comments. We're going to order some more t-shirts. We've already got several. There's I'll put some pictures up after this video. The pub where they put the bands on, which is quite local to us. All the lads behind the bar love us and they've now got t-shirts. So I will have t-shirts available. Anybody wants one, just email info@articulateoutburst.co.uk. We've got 2 designs. We've got the one with the bomb on, and then we've got the one that's silhouetted. While I'm on the subject, I might as well talk about the silhouetted. Ryan, who does our videos, accidentally froze the video when we were editing it for Straight White Male. It's on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, ring the bell, notification, subscribe. And when he froze it, it kind of gave an outline of a ghostly outline, and we've stolen that. So it was a happy accident, and that's on one of the t-shirts as well. So thanks very much for asking. Thanks very much for your comments. They're all written down. I keep a record of everything. I keep a record of everything I talk about on here as well. So if we ever come back to stuff, then ultimately we will come back to stuff. So thanks for your comments on the last stream and the previous stream before it. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.